in the league. And the man who scored the winning goal on that last occasion is with me now, Mick Shannon. Mick, you of course have played for both these clubs. Would you fancy being out there this afternoon?
Oh, I think so. Tremendous atmosphere and a lot of excitement. I think that it's Portsmouth. I know the Portsmouth lads are looking forward to it, and I think it'll be a cracking game. They're sure to have a right crack at Southampton. And,
is there not a risk, though, in a local derby that they get so tense, the crowd is so tense, that the game itself suffers a little?
Well, sometimes I think if you know the managers can make the game negative, but I can't see Bawley. I know Portsmouth want to win so bad. Unfortunately, Southampton haven't got Danny Wallace or Letizia. They're going to miss the pace of them. But Portsmouth have got Hilaire back, so we've got a bit of flair and a bit of skill. Should be a great game. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let me put you on the spot and ask you for a prediction.
Well, I thought Portsmouth played very well the other night, and I think they'll beat them. I think I can see Portsmouth scoring goals. And that's why I'm going to go for Portsmouth. 2-0. How's that? Positive.
Very positive. Thank you, Mickey. Let's now join our match commentator, Brian Moore.
Well, thanks, David. A historic footballing moment as Portsmouth and Southampton take the field together, their first ever meeting in the First Division. An act of friendship to be mixed with all the rivalry, and a gesture really to all the highly committed fans here today. Because it's a day when good behaviour is high on the list of priorities, not least off the field on these packed terraces. So it's a very special day for everybody, and for two players in particular. Ian Baird makes his first appearance for Portsmouth, signed from Leeds, but an added twist here, of course, he's a former Southampton player. Pompey hoping his goals will get them on a winning trail. And Derek Statham, a fine left-back, signed by Southampton for £100,000 in midweek from West Bromwich Albion. Saints building new defensive barriers following the departures of Peter Shilton and Mark Wright. Well, let's just take a check on the two teams. And Portsmouth manager Alan Ball, having suffered 2 defeats in their 2 opening games, can recall Vince Hilaire and Ian Baird after suspension, and it's looking a little more like their strongest side, though striker Paul Mariner continues as an emergency centre-back for Noel Blake, who seems likely to be out for some time after a knee operation. Southampton pleased with their victory at Norwich in midweek. Chris Nicholls' team already has got a more settled look, even though they are without injured Danny Wallace. Derek Statham at left-back. Kevin Moore, signed from Grimsby, started well as Mark Wright's replacement by scoring the winner at Norwich. And 20-year-old Tim Flowers can now expect a good running goal now that Peter Shilton has moved on to Derby County. 2 substitutes allowed for each side this season. On the Pompey bench, Kevin Dillon, who settled a pay dispute today and has now signed a 2-year contract, and Lee Sanford. On the Southampton bench, Steve Baker and Andy Cook. The referee today is Ray Lewis of Great Bookham in Surrey. And I must say, it's quite like old times at Fratton Park for a First Division game here. When you look at the crowd, it's shades of the days of Jimmy Dickinson and Jimmy Schooler, of Rich Fluin and Dougie Reid, and all those glorious players of those Pompey sides of the late 1940s. So Southampton in red shirts and black shorts attack the goal to our left. Get this South Coast derby underway. Portsmouth, of course, in their traditional blue with white shorts. Alan Ball saying, we've lost both our games, and yet I'm pleased with my side. I'm not in the least bit worried. And Chris Nicol, the Southampton manager, responding by saying, well, we've had 2 football tests so far against Manchester United and Norwich. Now it's a test of quite a different nature. And he's right. There's Graham Baker. It'll certainly be a test of nerve and of spirit as well as skill, and a crunching challenge there straight away on the number 10 of Southampton, Gordon Hobson, which looked unpleasant and is clearly painful. And Ray Lewis, the referee, running straight to Paul Mariner, and Mariner is going to get a yellow card in the first minute of the game for the challenge on Gordon Hobson. It's a yellow card for Paul Mariner. Well, Gordon Hobson okay, and a free kick which Kevin Bond, the Southampton skipper, will take. There's Clark up well for it. Billy Gilbert getting it away for Portsmouth. Andy Townsend getting a corner out of the Portsmouth defence. Jimmy Case will take. Kevin Bond has gone in there, and it was from a corner that Southampton gained the winner at Norwich, scored by Kevin Moore. Case playing it in towards the near post. Andy Townsend crossing it in again, much deeper this time towards Colin Clark on the far side. Gets up well. Bond with a shot which charged away there by the Portsmouth defence. And a good interception there by Jerry Forrest. And now Kenny Swain for Portsmouth. Baird's first touch. In goes Mariner. Dinked forward again. Moore getting it away, but not very far. Fillery with the header. By Quinn. Vincent. With a touch there with Baird. Still with Hilaire. Now, what trouble can he cause this Southampton defence? Crossed in well there, and a shot by Baird. He was unmarked. And a moment that brings an inquest into that Southampton defence. Because Flowers was left very much exposed after some excellent work by Hilaire. And Hardiman's cross finds Baird. It's with Jimmy Case. And now Fillery might be able to take it up for Portsmouth. No, Forrest is there for Southampton. Hobson, he hasn't got a lot of support, but Clark is up. And Forrest knocking it away for the corner. And Portsmouth continue to have these little aberrations in defence. As Paul Mariner was saying in the programme, that after the defeat at Oxford, they have to learn the lesson that you get punished for defensive mistakes in the First Division. Well, they certainly made them on that day. They made them against Chelsea in midweek, and it looks as though they're still carrying on making them today, and that could be disastrous. There's the corner, floated in towards Colin Clark. Graham Baker. Kevin Bond there with a header. Swain getting it away. Now Kennedy on the run for Portsmouth. Statham. Good ball there. And of all people, Kevin Bond, who'd gone up and stayed up. Hobson. Oh, the whistle had gone for a handball by Hardiman, right on the edge of the penalty area. Picture 2-4-5 in the Portsmouth wall, lined up by Alan Knight, the goalkeeper. Andy Townsend behind it, and just over. Free kick that. And, Townsend whipping this one with his left foot over the wall, but over the crossbar too. Goes Baird, wins it well, just that little flick on. There he is again. Great for Hilaire. Interesting possibilities here. Hits it back then. Oh, and a fine piece of keeping by Flowers. A great shot by Mick Kennedy. Again, good work by Vince Hilaire, and that's where the possibilities for Portsmouth seem to be coming from. Beats one, beats two, just pokes it back there, and Flowers a very good touch indeed, giving Portsmouth the corner.